You're going to have to choose one. And I don't know if you're going to know all these. Here's the setup. The keys are in the ignition, and you can only take one. Paying attention over there, boy?
I am, sir.
Keys are in the ignition. You can only take one car. Which one do you take? You ready to hear your choices?
Yes.
I saw this online yesterday. Made my choice quickly.
All right.
Because there's only one choice to make. The rest are all mistakes. The Dukes of Hazzard car. Do you know that one, Emily?
I can picture it. Flies through the air. It's reddish
It does
orange.
fly through the air. It's what?
Reddish orange?
It's orange, yeah.
Okay.
The Back to the Future DeLorean. The Knight Rider car. You see that one in your head?
No. I know it's named Kit. That's all I know.
Right, Kit car. The Starsky and Hutch. What is that, a Torino?
Yeah.
Can you see that one in your head?
No.
That's okay, you don't want that one. The James Bond 1965 Aston Martin. The Mad Max car. The Interceptor. The Ghostbusters Ecto-1 ambulance car. The A-Team van. The Miami Vice Ferrari or the Magnum PI Ferrari. The keys are in, and you can have it. Which one do you choose? Now, before you make your selection, I must ask you. As Emily said, I can see the Dukes of Hazzard car flying. And that's because Bo and Luke Duke were always on some sort of, scampering away from the police. And they'd hit a ramp somehow out there in those swamps. But I don't know what kind of shape those cars were in by the time they hit the ground.
Right.
Secondly, the Back to the Future car, I believe it's just a DeLorean. I don't think it actually possesses the ability to time travel.
Ooh.
Right?
I've seen the DeLorean, though, cruising around at Comic-Con in years past.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool car.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question. I just don't want anyone to make their selection based on the thought that either the Kit car will actually talk to you and drive itself, or that the DeLorean is going to take you back to 1955.
Got it.
Okay, it's just a car. All right. So your choices are the Dukes of Hazzard. What is that? Is that a Challenger or a Charger? It's a Charger. Yeah. The DeLorean. The Knight Rider. I think that's a Trans Am. The Starsky and Hutch car. That's a Gran Torino. The James Bond Aston Martin. The Mad Max car. I don't know what that is.
It's got to be something off-roady-ish and medieval and looking and...
Do you know this one, Bort?
I don't. It's probably Australian, right?
No. A Ford Falcon?
Yeah, that's an Australian badge.
The Ghostbusters Ecto van. The A-Team van. The Miami Vice Ferrari Daytona. That was a white one. Hardtop. Or Magnum's red convertible Ferrari GTS. Which one do you take? Are you ready to make your choice?
Yeah.
You know there's only one right choice, right?
I have a feeling you and I agree, but I could
Really?
be wrong. I
You
don't
think
know.
we agree?
Maybe.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Red, tell me.
I would like the Aston Martin, please.
We don't agree.
Oh, wow.
Chris Boyer, sit tight. You know.
I know.
You know. Chainsaw, what car are you going to take?
The Aston Martin.
All right. Got two people taking the James Bond 1964, 1965 Aston Martin. All right. Sarah, what car do you take?
If I don't take the Mad Max car, my prepper end of the world husband who lives for things like this will let me go.
Oh.
You'll be dismissed, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
He would be so disappointed.
That's an apocalypse car. That's an apocalypse movie.
See?
Yeah. So you live for that stuff?
He does.
Does he like those apocalypse movies?
He does.
Yeah. Does he have a favorite? I watched like not even 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute, I think, of like one of the original Mel Gibson Mad Max movies from 1981 yesterday. And I snapped it off because I'm just not stupid enough to watch these. I'm pretty stupid, I am. But when it's too stupid for me, I was just like, forget this nonsense. Just these weird little zombie dudes. He's stealing a truck, and I was just like, get me out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. Chip's favorite end of the world-ish apocalypse movie lately involves aliens kind of ending the world. So it's a mix of that. It's Battlefield LA or Battlefield Los Angeles. Whatever. I can't remember. Battlefield Los Angeles? I don't know. He loves that movie.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Did you ever see Cowboys versus Aliens?
He loves that movie too.
I do too.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, that movie just didn't do well. It's only weird in that we don't think aliens coming to Earth, we don't think the aliens ever wanted to come to Earth prior to 1950-ish. It just doesn't occur to us that aliens might have been buzzing around in the Old West.
Right, but then the Old West has weird new technology, electronic things in it too. It's just the weirdest mash of things.
It was.
Which does make it interesting, though.
I agree.
And that actor?
Which actor? Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford.
Daniel Craig.
Yep.
He's so good.
Yeah. All right, so I've got a Mad Max car. I've got two taking the Goldfinger James Bond Aston Martin. Mm-hmm. So far, I don't believe anyone's taken the right car. Do I think Chris Boyer will take the right car? I don't know. I don't know. You never know with him. What is it, Chris Boyer? What's the right car?
Well, based on valuations and appeal, you have to take the Aston Martin.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, you're just like him, aren't you?
I hate it when that happens.
And what do you mean? Why do you have to take that based on what?
The car's value.
Yeah, what is the 1965 Aston Martin worth these days?
Well, I'd have to look it up, but I'd say probably $300,000-$400,000.
So you have no idea, huh?
No, but
Aston but that's Martin, what you base it. You base it on something you have no idea.
I'm basing it on that all the other stuff is garbage. What are you going to have, a DeLorean? No, that's going to be $10,000 at the most.
No,
Firebird. There's $3,000 and a mullet.
Don't discount the mullet, my friend.
Gran Torino.
No.
Nah.
No.
One of the actual Aston Martins from James Bond Goldfinger sold at auction for $6.3 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I believe a movie car would.
Yeah. James Bond one. That's up for discussion.
Yeah. No, I'm not taking that one, Chris Borg. Keep going.
The A-Team van, I mean, you can shag a lot of poon in the back of that.
You can. I'm sure your gals would.
Oh, my God.
With the shag carpet,
Let's have you talk about what you would do. Don't tell me what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Miami Vice Ferrari was a fake.
Okay, so that's not it.
Magnums.
That's the one.
Winner.
That's the one you take, the convertible red Ferrari. What are you gonna? You're gonna badmouth it now. Go ahead.
It's probably got 12 carburetors that all have to be synced up every 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. It's got a terrible, terrible record of reliability, and the service is gonna kill you. You're gonna be hating it by the time you're 6 months into this thing.
Yeah, because that 60-year-old Aston Martin you're chugging around in runs like a top. What are you, high?
Probably.
I thought you were going for valuation, not for reliability. Reliability worked its way in there. That was not part of your initial equation.
Well, that Ferrari isn't worth nearly what that Aston Martin is. Just, it's a 70s or 80s smogged out Ferrari, so you've got to deal with all that emissions garbage as well. Mm-hmm. The Aston Martin is just pure performance.
Which one do you think would outrun? Put them out on a drag race. Which one's going to go faster?
I'll bet it'd be damn close. I'd put my money on the Aston
I'll bet
Martin.
you'd lose. Don't you want to bet that you'd lose?
That Ferrari's got 250 horsepower, probably. It's nothing. You can get a
How
SUV.
much would you bet?
I don't know.
I didn't think so. Yeah. All right, very good. So you took it just for value?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't cash it in or anything like that. That's just your car. That's what you're driving around in.
That's all right. It's cool because there are fewer of those than the Ferrari, and I'd take it. It's just efficient. What do you have? Aston Martin. It sounds cool.
Oh, I agree. I loved the Aston Martin, but not an old crummy one like that 1965 one. No, thank you. All right, very good. Well, take it away, people. So no one wants the orange Dukes of Hazzard car.
No.
No one wants Kit car. No one wants the Starsky and Hutch car. Sarah got the Mad Max weird Australian Ford.
Got to drive it on the right side now. It's going to be weird to make a left turn.
No one got the Ghostbusters car. And no one got Chris Boyer's Poontang 18 van. Didn't Mr. T wasn't he always at the helm?
Yes.
Yeah.
He always drove that thing.
Unless they had to knock him out because they had to fly somewhere.
Oh, did he not care to fly?
He did not like flying.
And what would that have to do with driving the van?
Well, if they knocked him out, then he couldn't drive the van.
I thought you said because they were flying somewhere.
If they had to get to the airport or something. Because T is not going to drive to the airport.
Oh, I see.
Because he does not fly.
I see.
So they got to knock him out and then get him there.
Look at you knowing all these nuances of the scripts of the A-Team.
So they knocked him out and then stowed him away on the plane or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then they got to where they were, and how'd we get here, fool? You know.
Is that right?
We fly.
Okay.
I'm going to bust your face, you know.
And the Miami Vice car was a fake car?
Yeah, Ferrari did not want anything to do with it initially.
Uh-huh.
So
Initially?
The original Miami Vice car.
Did they change their minds?
I think they did.
So what if this is the good Miami Vice car? They call it the Ferrari Daytona.
Yeah. It's not the Pinto from the first season.
How is that not a real Ferrari?
Because the first ones were fake. I'm positive.
Yeah.
The first ones were fake because Ferrari did not want their car used.
I see. So what did they do?
They had a Camaro with a wig.
No kidding?
Yeah, I'd put $100 on it.
$100?
Yeah.
It was a Camaro?
I don't know. It was something small block Chevy powered.
Uh-huh.
And that's what they did because Ferrari was not keen on it.
Why is that?
I don't know that they wanted their car tied in with the drug culture of Miami.
Why couldn't the people at Miami Vice just secure themselves a Ferrari and drive it around? And it's just tough if you don't like it. We bought the car. We can do whatever we want with it.
They may not have had the budget for it, and they may not have wanted to wipe out a car like that. I don't know, Dave.
Oh.
I don't know. That was my recollection.
I got you.
From
well, your recollections are usually 100% airtight.
The DSC is back on the KGB.
What's your general feeling about brides?
High maintenance.
Anything else?
Demanding. That's kind of repetitive. Princess.
Pain in the ass. Not the most flattering description that you had for brides there.
No.
It's my special day for my special princess party. How much, I've known you to be understanding and give a wide berth for pregnant women.
Mm-hmm.
Hormones and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you give the same consideration to brides?
No.
Why?
They're not growing a human and their body is not going through lots of changes.
Yeah, but don't they have hormones?
They do.
What if they're pregnant and getting married?
Ugh.
Shotgun wedding.
And they do get a little bit of leeway for the
A
pregnant.
little bit of a wide berth on that one. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you give pass to pregnant women for the reasons you just mentioned, but not for brides. How about you, Sarah? Do you give brides a little bit of loosen up the rope a little bit for them?
I totally do, because there's so much stress involved in doing this, and there's so much pressure because a lot of us, I have, planned that perfect day my entire life, and I want it to be perfect. So there's a lot of
Who is the day being made perfect for?
the bride.
So she's planning a perfect day all about her, and we need to give her a wide berth so that her perfect day that she's been planning all about her can go well.
Yeah, because usually the guy doesn't care. Chip cared about some things, but for the most part, he didn't really care. So we as outsiders, when we are asked to be understanding, why should we be understanding for a woman who's planning a perfect day for her? Because it's her day. You're not going there for anything about you. You're going there to celebrate her wedding, her day, her love. It's her marriage. So it literally has nothing to do with you except to be there to support her.
It literally has nothing for you there other than for you to adore and admire the bride on her special perfect day.
And celebrate her wedding.
There you go.
Yeah. So you get some leeway in my book.
Why are you shaking your head for? You're such a guy.
I see the point that it isn't about the guests, it's about the couple.
Why have guests?
Well,
why have guests
if
it's her special day? Yeah, that's it, right?
You get stuff if you do.
Yeah, that's the only reason to have guests, right? I mean, when you balance it out at the bottom line here, you gotta do a special party, and these people figure out the cost per person there, and you come down to some sort of tabulation where it's $100 per person. What if they're not getting you a prize that's worth $100? You're taking a loss on that guest.
I didn't have a price in mind for a gift from every wedding. I don't associate with that at all.
My question is, why are the guests even there? If it's her day,
you want them to.
They have no purpose.
You have no. That was probably the best day of my life because all my loved ones were there. It was so much fun, and to celebrate that day with all your friends, all your loved ones, all your family makes it even better.
How could it not be the greatest day they've ever enjoyed since it was your day?
I don't care about them. They'll have their own wedding if they want it.
I don't care about them.
I mean, I don't care if it's not going to be the best day of their life. It's not about them. It's not their wedding. It's not the day they give birth to a child.
We come back to it. Why even have them there?
Because it makes your day even better.
They're your pawns, your puppets to be there to adore you.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we've certainly heard cases of brides who have bad behavior.
Yes.
But we need to give them a little leeway, a little room.
Okay.
A little forgiveness because it's their special day and you can just drop dead because it's not about you.
Got it. Okay.
Here we go. This is what this bride is writing. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I expect a lot of understanding. 3 years ago, my dad was injured badly in a hit-and-run car accident and broke every bone in his body, left him paralyzed from the waist down. Our relationship has always been good, but I hate seeing him in pain. And admittedly, I try to avoid seeing him because it just makes me uncomfortable. So I'm getting married in November. I've been with my fiance for 4 years. He and my dad get on very well. So the talk has come up on who's going to give me away. And I've been silent. Now, I know that my dad's in a wheelchair. We've always talked about him giving me away and having a dance at my wedding. But I don't want to be reminded of what could have been. I messaged my mom privately and I told her that I want my uncle to walk me down the aisle because we're very close as well. She asked me why. And I said I told her that my dad being in a wheelchair would add complications to the wedding. The walkway has to be widened to accommodate his wheelchair. He wouldn't be able to hold my arm, give me a proper hug. Well, she got all mad and called me an ableist piece of you-know-what and removed me from a group chat. My aunt has since been calling me and telling me that my dad's feelings are hurt. He's devastated. So I need to know if I'm the jerk here. Yes, Emily?
I think you are.
Oh. Go ahead. Back it up. Substantiate that.
I heard the argument that it's the bride's day, but I also know that your family is invested in you your whole life. And if it was part of your dad's dream to give his little girl away, it's the smallest thing you can do for everything that he's done for you.
She does not want her special day tinged or besmirched with her bad feelings about her father. It puts her in a bad mood.
You need to go to a therapist and grow up.
No, here we go.
Your dad didn't ask to be in a wheelchair. That's
No, he
so
did not.
tragic.
Mm-hmm.
You should be supportive of your father. You're selfish, self-centered.
Yeah, but she's a bride. It's her day to be selfish and self-centered.
Boycott that wedding.
Oh, who boycotts it?
There's ways around it. Have your uncle walk you down the aisle and have your dad meet you at the front, and they can both give you away.
She doesn't want to be reminded.
Well, then your dad. Are you saying your dad's not invited to the wedding? Like, that's just horrific.
Well, the less the better is what she's saying.
I think she's a cold, heartless person.
What do you think, Sarah?
David!
You've certainly got... Look, you set this up perfectly.
You SOB!
To remind everybody. You set this up to remind everybody that it's the bride's day.
Uh-huh.
And you know who isn't the bride? Dad in a wheelchair is not the bride.
Uh-huh.
So he can stop being so selfish with his wheels. Right?
No!
What? That's what you
no
just told
way
me.
In hell.
You just told me it's the bride's day and everyone else can just understand that. You didn't tell me there were any exceptions.
Well, I didn't know about this one.
Well, I asked you just about everything in the world and you ran out of patience and called me a big stupid head. Told me to figure it out, dummy.
Oh, that's what I said. Okay.
Something like that.
Dear Lord.
Dear Lord.
Dear Lord, woman.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're giving other bridezillas a bad name.
Yeah. Well, what's your advice to this woman? She wants to know if she's being a jerk.
Yes, you're being a jerk.
Well, what is she supposed to do? Have wheels in there?
That is the best solution ever, Emily said. Have the dad waiting for her to give her away already up front at the altar. Her uncle can walk her down. That is the perfect solution.
Sometimes I wonder if this microphone's even turned on. Did you not hear? The sight of her father in her wheelchair hurts her feelings. It makes her feel bad. This day is all about her and her happy princess thoughts.
Well, you know what? The thought of my dead father is certainly sad and horrible.
Man, are you a downer today?
But my sister had his picture and a rose in the chair, and she dealt with it.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about your special day?
Nope.
She's not talking about her special day?
No, my sister. My dad was alive on mine, but my sister had a wedding. Our father was dead. Of course, that's sad. But she had a picture.
You're talking about your sister's special day.
Yes.
We're not talking about her special day. We're talking about this lady's special day. I don't think you understand what a wedding's all about, madam.
Put it in this bride's perspective for this bridezilla. You will regret it forever if you don't, and not invite him. He's going to be there.
He's invited. He's just got to stay out of sight. Out of sight.
Put a video feed in and let him watch it from the annex.
Couldn't we do that thing like they did with Princess Leia? Just have like some sort of, what is it called?
Hologram?
A hologram of him?
Oh, from back in his good days, his heyday?
Well, I don't know about that, but the sight of him in a wheelchair hurts her feelings. It bums her out.
Sure.
Well, let's
how horrible for you. You have to look at your father whose life is ruined.
Can you have a little consideration for this princess on her special day, please?
I tried.
Well, you didn't try very hard. You were all gung-ho about it's her special day and everyone else could drop dead. I bring up one teensy, weensy little ask, and all of a sudden you're throwing her feelings out.
I'm an emotional roller coaster, David.
Wow, you're as inconsistent as Chris Boyer. You know that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
2 minutes ago, you're like, it's her day. It's her special day. You're there to worship her and just pay attention to her on her special day. Well, she doesn't want her special day wrecked with a guy who can't walk.
I have a soul. I am not like Boyer. Boyer would, because the difference is Boyer would still defend that point after you brought up all these other factors. He would stick by his statement, which needs to be revised, but he wouldn't revise it, and he'd probably dig his chugaboots in.
You know, I saw Pearl Harbor. I saw the movie Pearl Harbor. The guy who played Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he stood up at the table. He was in a wheelchair. Make an effort, Dad. Come on. Isn't that what you should be saying?
I think paralyzation and polio might be different.
What's the difference exactly?
Well, if you're paralyzed, you can't use mind over manner to just stand up for
mind
a minute.
over what?
I don't know. Mind over manner. Isn't
mind
that
over
what they say?
manner.
Isn't that what they say?
That's
what
the old saying. That's the saying. It's mind over manner. Mm-hmm. You take your mind and you make your bad manners go away. Mm-hmm. That's what it means.
What? Matter?
Oh, I thought it was
No, it's mind over manner.
I hate you guys.
Is anyone on this bride's side? She doesn't want dad in his wheelchair out in the open hurting her feelings on her special day. And she wants to know if she's the jerk. By the way, some people did start responding to her, and she wrote, can people stop messaging me such horrendous stuff? Think about what you're saying. You may not agree with me or my life, but you're just as bad as I apparently am. If you're going to go around saying stuff like that to strangers on the internet, oh my God. What do you think? You got any thought on this, Chris Boyer? Well, I mean, you are the only one here the true connection to this because you're the wedding planner.
Thank you. I was going to bring that up, but I appreciate your prefacing that with this.
Of course.
Look, and I'm also a horrible, horrible person. So I can recognize one of my own, and she is a bitch with a capital C.
Oh, yeah.
She is a horrible, horrible person.
Sure.
And if I were her father, I would not pay for any of the wedding because it's a father's responsibility to foot the bill on this stuff. And I think I'd just be calling my caterer and my place of that we're having it. I might just take a couple of checks back.
Well, you can't do that. These things are all, paid for long in advance, deposits, things like that. No refunds.
As if I were her wedding planner, I would pull my services immediately and refund to the gentleman my own check. So she is just a horrible thing.
You don't side with her, huh?
I don't.
Huh.
Not in any possible way.
Emily doesn't side with the chainsaw.
Disinherit the girl.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Well, Sarah, you're on your own. I sure as hell am not on her side. Pretty inconsiderate of father going to go and get paralyzed before her special day. Why is he always thinking about himself?
Right. He wants the attention all on him.
Quick timeout. It's the DSC show from 101.5 KGB.
Podcasts all in one.
With 101.5 KGB. Thank you for switching us on. You know, we're getting signals from outer space. Did you hear that this week?
We are?
Yeah, it's the second time now. For the second time ever, astronomers have detected a pattern in a mysterious FRB, David. Who can tell me what an FRB is?
Foreign radio beacon.
That's pretty close. It's a fast radio burst that's coming from deep space. FRBs, fast radio burst, are millisecond-long bursts of radio waves in space. And astronomers have been able to trace these radio bursts back to home galaxies. Now, before I continue with this noise that we're hearing from outer space, let me ask you, Emily, do you believe in the man from Mars?
Yeah, I don't think we're the only people out there. Only living beings out there.
Yep. Do you think we've seen them? Do you think we've seen them sneaking around our skies? Do you think the Navy has seen video of them doing it?
Sure.
You do?
I think it's entirely possible, yes.
Tell me your thought on this chainsaw.
Not Martians per se, but yeah, I agree with Emily that it's kind of conceited for us to think we're the only living civilized creatures in the entire universe.
I don't limit it to Martians, but Martians are clearly the most likely, since that's what we've been talking about since the 50s. Or the man in the moon, if you will. Do you think we've seen them?
No.
Okay, so there's some other explanation for the UFOs?
You seen the individual one? No, I think we've seen foreign bodies. Yes, I have.
You think we've seen Martians flying around our atmosphere?
In the general sense of the word, yes.
Yeah, okay, right on. 2 for 2. Sarah, what do you think?
I think there are intelligent life forms aside from our planet, but I do not think that we've seen UFOs.
So, do you think the stuff that these Navy pilots have seen, these crafts that move in unearthly ways, do you think there's a logical explanation for them that we just don't know yet?
I just think it's other countries' military or something like that, or doing secret stuff we're not going to know.
Okay.
I'm just not convinced that they're UFOs.
All right.
From space.
How about you, Chris Boyer? Do you believe in the man from Mars?
Yeah, the more I think about it and the more I'm kind of like, well, maybe there's something out there somewhere. So I'm not, this is it, this is us. I think there's a...
The Boyer ratio, whatever. Syllable count.
I have no idea what he said. Has he given us an answer?
There is a
Did he say yes or no? No, I'm asking if you believe in it or not. Of course I know there's a possibility. I don't need you for that. I want to know if you believe in it or not. Do you believe in E.T.?
No.
Didn't you think he was leaning towards yes?
Yes.
Until just now.
You said
And
E.T.
then I asked him to give me an answer. It's almost like he's telling me what I believe.
So I believe
I want to know if you believe in E.T.
God damn it! I can't believe it unless I see it. But
I know that. And that's why I'm asking you. It's okay to say no.
Until I see it, I don't believe it.
All right,
No.
that's fine. That's absolutely fine. What do you make of these unearthly aircraft that the Navy has been releasing for us lately?
They're unidentified, and there are
Right.
218 other countries in the world who have their own flying programs.
Right.
And some of those things might be...
You believe these aircraft could be superior to American military?
you never know.
I mean, vastly superior. They're saying these aircraft move in ways that our military can barely comprehend, in speeds and maneuvers that we are nowhere near. You think other countries on Earth have beaten us?
Well, people said for many years that the Japanese Zero was a much better plane than what we had.
So yes
for
is your
World War
answer?
II. So
Other countries have
I think it's possible.
No, I'm asking you
Yeah.
if you believe it. How else would you explain it? Somehow, Azerbaijan has an aircraft that is not only better than ours, but can do things that we can't even comprehend.
It's possible.
No, I'm asking you if you believe it. That's your explanation.
Pick an explanation.
Another
Aliens,
country
another
is better than
country?
ours. Yeah, it's either another country or it's another world. What's your choice? Before you answer,
I would sit
before
with
you
another
answer,
country.
you know, Chainsaw referenced The Godfather 2 a little while ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know The Godfather 2, but Michael Corleone, they had the goods on him.
Okay.
They knew he was a bad guy. And they had this star witness.
Okay.
And this star witness was ready to tell everyone, yep, Michael ordered me to kill people, the whole thing. And just as this presentation is beginning in front of all these senators, the star witness's brother comes in and sits down, fresh in from Sicily. And all he had to do was be there. And the witness looked at his brother and he turned around and says, I made it up. I said Michael Corleone did this. And Michael Corleone did that. It was all a lie. Because the sight of his brother shamed him into giving this answer.
Okay.
I present to you Chris Boyer's cousin, Thayer, who wants to be present for Boyer's answer on whether or not he believes in men from outer space. Hi, Thayer.
Good morning, guys.
Haven't seen you since you smashed Bromo's finger when we were playing golf out at, where were we that day?
Steel Canyon, my
Steel
friend.
Canyon.
Steel Canyon.
Boy. Do you remember what your score was that day when you played with nothing but a putter?
112, I think it was.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to talk
That
to you
was-
there. How's everything in this COVID-19 world of yours?
Well, I'm I'm an essential kind of guy, so I'm staying busy. But it sure is a wacky time. That's for sure.
It sure is. It's a wacky time with these protests and the unrest and this crazy pandemic. And now you've got your cousin here on the radio telling us that he believes in men from Mars.
Well, if he believes from men from Mars, I'm kicking him out of the squad.
Look, if the question was, do you believe in men from Mars? No, I don't. But if I saw one, it would change my mind.
Yeah. So you don't believe in E.T.?
I don't believe in E.T.
So how do you explain this aircraft that Navy pilots can't explain?
I think there may be other countries, a few that are advanced.
Superior to President Trump's military? That's what you're telling me? There are other countries that have superiority in their military over your President Trump?
Well, no, because these other countries that have a plane that moves in ways that ours can't, that plane may not be reliable. They may not have beaten the reliability. They may not have beaten the ability to carry ordnance. They may not have beaten the ability to carry fuel, enough range to be practical.
He just refuses to say anything that might reflect poorly on the president in case Mr. Trump is listening. He doesn't want to be off the team.
I get that. I get that. Every time I'm bad-mouthing some celebrity, I always have to tell you, now, Emily, if Foghat comes on, don't tell him I said that.
Right.
That's right. But
so there, you have a strong family feeling that there are no men from Mars, that kind of thing?
No, there's no men from Mars any more than there's Sasquatch. I mean,
you got to look in honest pants. I'm telling you, it'll scream at you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know that everyone has an opinion.
It walks and bears children.
Yeah, I have the radio. These fast radio bursts.
Really?
Yeah. How do you explain that?
Right.
How do you explain a radio transmission coming from deep space?
Well, I think we have sparks and lightning and things like that come from our own atmosphere.
I'm not talking about lightning. I'm talking about a radio transmission.
That was repeating on a
Let's listen to
pattern.
it. Let's listen to it. And then we'll decide whether or not we believe in men from Mars. Here we go. This is what the FRB that the astronomers have heard twice now. Mm-hmm. You ready to hear it?
Sure.
Here we go.
Happy New Year!
Oh, God.
It's Our Request Friday on KGRG. What's up? I'm Emily. I know you're recovering from your hangovers, but whatever you want to hear to get your weekend started right, give me a call. 833-5004 or 924-0180, extension 2198 or 2199. Coming up, we got Fard, Zoo Bombs, and Sublime, plus whatever you want to hear. It's Our Request Friday.
That's what E.T. sounds like as a DJ.
I'm convinced now.
You got a song you want to hear? Phone hold. Yeah. Call E.T. right now. Hit me up, Berber.
Who gave that alien a radio show?
Come on, Berber.
Wow. This is Eric Powers?
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could, introduce a song or something?
No.
While they're all listening?
No, this is E.T.'s show. Yeah. Well, that is the fast radio burst that astronomers have intercepted, and they are dumbfounded to explain it.
Dave, Emily, and Chainsaw, the 101.5 KGB FM San Diego. It is Boyer in the big master control suite here to bring you up to speed on our next bit from 1998. We're going back to September 15th. We're talking about the pop-ins and why they were wrong in the 90s, wrong in the aughts, in the teens, and even today. Don't do it. Don't think about it. Don't ever. And if you want to know why, this story should tell you why. It's the best of Dave, Emily, and Chainsaw going back to 1998 deep in the archives on the KGB.
Nothing wrong with that, baby.
Yeah.
How come you never do that, Shell? How come you never come in here in short shorts and a tight top and roller skates?
I'm just no damn good.
You're selfish is what you are.
I'm a selfish newswoman. But I used to roller skate a lot. I actually enjoy it.
A couple of the gals last night at Hooters were on roller skates, Ruthie. How come you never go to Hooters? That'd be like,
People were asking about you, Ruthie.
Man.
I actually was thinking
smorgasbord for you.
People thought they'd heard you say on the air you were going to be there.
Yeah, I was going to go. I didn't feel so good yesterday. Actually, I was just tired. And my show nap got interrupted.
Aw, by what?
Oh, Scarlett popped over.
Your show nap?
My show nap, yeah.
What's your show nap?
Well, the nap when I take every day, or no.
During the show, you take a nap?
No, in the afternoon.
Oh.
My afternoon
It's
nap,
like a
I call
disco
it.
nap.
I call
Got
it
it.
my show nap.
And she came over and interrupted your show nap?
Yeah.
How long is your show nap?
Oh, at least an hour.
Oh, God, I wish I was you.
How long are your naps?
I don't get them on a regular basis anymore.
Well, mine are irregular. Well, I guess they're kind of regular.
You have an irregular nap? Oh, dear. Better wear a diaper.
Maybe at least twice a week.
That's nothing better, is there? Nothing better than a good old nap.
No, she came clomping up the steps and talked for a while. And then
Clomp like Trigger coming up the stairs.
I have wooden steps. And she had big clunky shoes on.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to hear him coming up the stairs?
Mm-hmm. Unless you're wearing sneakers, you're probably in your sort of tippy toe, and I have kind of noisy steps.
So why did you do the pop-in? I mean, you should have had the talk. Didn't you have the talk about the pop-in?
No, she's allowed to pop in.
Really?
Not going to interrupt your nap. Don't want to hear any bitching about it.
It's all right.
Man,
There are not many people allowed to pop in at my house.
Yeah, she can pop in.
There's nobody allowed to do the pop-in at my house.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
Well, no one can pop in at your house, Shelley. You got to hike your way up. It's like trying to get to Mount Everest. No one pops in. They struggle in. Coming in with machetes and
but I want a phone call first.
a jungle guide.
Throwing the grappling hook over the...
And you've lost 3 people from the expedition on the way in.
I think they've started a new civilization in the canyon.
What were you saying there, boy?
Rapunzel. throwing up the grappling hook,
Yeah.
hooking it over the...
You having pop-ins over at your house?
No, you know, I've had a few, and I absolutely discourage them with everyone.
Oh, attaboy. Really? Do you say, hey, don't come over here without letting me know?
Yeah.
Really, you do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I could be napping or spanking or watching TV or something.
Heaven forbid you're watching TV. Oh, my God.
And it's, you know, my time...
could be watching TV.
My time at home is mine to do as I please.
That's right.
The other two.
So what if I
understand.
popped in? What if I just showed up and I popped in on you?
Oh,
You tell me to buzz off?
I was just leaving.
Really? You tell me that?
I don't know. Well, maybe not. If there was an important issue...
No. I'm just
pop it in.
I was in the neighborhood and I thought, hey, there's Boyer's house. I think I'll pop in.
My advice to you would be drive around the back to the garage to see if I'm working. And if I'm out there pounding on stuff, that's fine.
I just go in there and I rattle on the door. You could be watching TV, you could be spanking, you could be napping, you could be doing all 3 at once. Bang, 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 bang.
I ignore it.
Oh.
I'm not expecting anybody.
I've never once been to your house. In 8.5 years of glorious friendship, of glorious near homosexual friendship, I've never been to your house, and the one time I come over, you ignore me?
I wouldn't know it was you.
Hey, it's me!
How about going to the door, Einstein? Didn't you know?
He won't let you in anyway. Remember the time we picked him up for one of our little excursions?
All right.
I wasn't there.
Well, it was one of our little club excursions, and
A club excursion?
well, the JFK Club.
I thought it was
Kennedy
like Club Med or something you guys were going to.
And we get to the front door, and Boyer has his little bag of stuff and his toothbrush. He said, "Okay, let's go." I said, "No, no, no." We race him upstairs because we want to see his bedroom. And he beats us to it. The door is locked.
Yeah.
We try to chase him down, grab his keys. It's a very ugly sight.
Who is this we? You and who?
Chatfield and Blair.
Really? Now was Chatfield actually in hot pursuit?
Yes, we were running through his apartment complex like a version of Cops. I mean, if there was a helicopter, it would have been on Fox.
Bad boys. All
And,
right, now whose idea was this?
and Boyer runs and jumps down a levee of ice plant through a bunch of trees, skins himself just to protect his keys from us going upstairs and unlocking his bedroom door.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show.
Why were you so adamant about them not seeing your room?
Because they wanted to.
What an idiot.
I
Whose
understand
idea?
that 100%.
Who led this charge?
Oh, well,
It was you.
The Peaker.
Chainsaw.
The Peaker led the charge. See? The Peaker. And what are you saying, Shooty? You don't like people to see your room?
No, I just understand Boyer avoiding it just because Chainsaw wanted to see it so bad.
Oh, it'd be like one of those old gangster movies. He'd be ripping,
right.
drawers out, emptying clothes like he's looking for the Maltese Falcon kind of thing.
Plus, you've already made an issue out of it, so now he's going to make a bigger issue out of it once he gets inside.
Right.
So it just keeps escalating, so you just forget it.
It's
He's
an
not in there.
ATF raid. That's what it is.
So now, were you in the apartment, but you couldn't get in Boyer's room?
That's correct.
And this is because Boyer has roommates. How many?
Yeah, I have 2 roommates.
He has 2 roommates, So, you can walk around the rumpus room, you can walk around the dining facilities and whatnot, but your bedroom has its own private lock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you use. Right now, your bedroom is locked.
It probably is. Yeah. Well, I mean, if somebody busts into the house, I would like the extra.
Do you have a lot of that?
No.
No?
No. As far as I know, it's not happened in the complex, but. You don't want to take chances.
Leave your cars out front. That'll deter them.
You've got things in there that you don't want other people to see. Dildos?
No, I got things.
You got dildos in there?
No.
Blow-up dolls?
Double headers?
No.
What's in there that you don't want people to see?
Nothing. I just don't want people to break into the unit and swipe my stuff.
Does that happen a lot?
Not that I know of.
Do you live in a high crime area?
No, but David, I would bet that you don't live in a high crime area, and you probably lock your doors as well.
I lock the outside doors. I don't lock the doors inside the house.
To the bedroom. You know what this is?
Well,
This
it's like
is
Maxwell Smart trying to get in.
I know,
One
that's
door
what I
after
mean.
The other.
And I have lived in higher crime areas with roommates, and I didn't lock my bedroom doors inside the apartment.
You guys, this is all because Boyer was an only child. He never learned to share.
And
Sigmund Freud.
No, he never learned to share. Mother, you cannot come in my room. My door is locked. Father,
Sigmund
you cannot come
Freud.
in my room. This is what this is all about.
Speaking of which, years ago, I went over to Chris's house when he was living with his mommy. And I walked into his bedroom, and it was like Fred Sanford's front yard.
I think I had a pinball machine in the room.
In disrepair.
In disrepair. Now,
Well, nothing in Boyer's entire collection of crap, nothing is in repair.
No.
Got a button missing on his shirt.
Everything is in disrepair. He could have a stick.
Yeah.
A stick. Something on the stick would require attention.
now, I want to suggest that maybe Shelley is right.
It's the only child thing. And remember when we first started working together? And you locked up all your. He had a metal box for his lunchbox with a lock, a big freaking padlock on it.
Well, I don't blame him for that. Moochers and takers and horners.
No, but it's like, geez, have a little trust, have a little faith.
No.
Food, forget it.
How long have you been working at a radio station?
Why not bring my food
You
here?
can put a moldy turd in there. Hey, that didn't look too bad. I know it's not mine, but it's not mine. How about that for me?
No, David's right. There were rampant cases of food theft at the old KGB building.
Yeah,
But I was
any radio station.
Yeah.
But he was the only one who decided to solve that problem with a padlock.
I remember when disc jockeys would walk around here, weekend disc jockeys, which is the lowest item on the food chain.
Hey, now, Bromowitz is a weekend disc jockey.
Okay, well, whatever. Lowest.
It's just a board op.
Weekend disc jockeys walking around like their family was dead because someone defrosted the freezer. Mm-hmm. There was nothing in it but frost. I know.
It was my lunch.
You know, I've been here on weekends, stop in to pick something up, and you walk in, and it's like this whole building is different.
Oh, yeah.
There are tribbles in the hallway.
Yeah.
Triples.
This place looks like the Delta House on weekends.
Yeah.
It does.
And they're people that the bosses don't even know who they are. They're hanging out here.
There's
They're in your
pizzas on the
studio.
walls.
Yeah, it's awful.
My God, all the crap that happens here on weekends.
Oh, I would bet there are probably 4 or 5 discarded packages and wrappers of various forms of birth control.
Yeah, there's all sorts of nastiness around here.
So
I don't blame you for locking up your food in the refrigerator.
Well,
but it's part of the same symptom, though. It's inability to share.
Well,
But I've known a lot of people who were only kids and they didn't lock their bedroom door.
Now, Shell, that's interesting that you Sigmund Freuded him that way of saying it's inability to share, and you obviously take exception with him for that because you brought this up before. And I contend, if I may, Sigmund Freud, because you're the horner. And you want to be in his things, and you want part of.
I don't want to be in his things.
Yeah, you know what? You don't get to deny this. He had to sit there and take your mouthful. Yeah, you're the little Jack Horner. You want that, and you want this, and you want to be in his locked goods, and yes.
I just wanted to see what was in the box when I first discovered the Fort. What was it called?
Fort Boyer.
Yeah.
What a cataclysmic explosion of love atoms it's going to be when the only child hoarder gets together with the Horner.
Wow.
Big bang boom.
I don't want to see his room because I have a feeling I know what it looks like.
Well, now, in my defense of Fort Boyer, I would bring cool things to work, like Flavor Ice and Fudgicles.
Yummy.
And those would be gone.
And what?
Fudgicles.
Fudgicles. It's the only word he mispronounces correctly.
Is it like fudgesicle?
Yeah.
No, it's like a fudgicle.
It's not called fudgesicle?
No.
Only wieners call them fudge sickles.
Oh.
It's a fudgicle.
Like a popsicle. Is it a popicle?
It's a fudgicle.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So you bring those, and those things are gone in 60 seconds. You leave them in the damn icebox here. So that was why I had Fort Boyer. But my issue with my room stems from my mother, who would come in and...
Thank you, Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Jeez. Mother. This always happens, too. In the middle of commercials, we're in here, all of a sudden, Boyer will start answering his mother. Yes, Mother? What? What, Mother? It's time for spots? All right, Mother. Don't yell at me, Mother.
It's really bad when he puts on that wig with the bun in the back.
Well, all right, Mother.
She would come in and assist me with the cleaning chores.
I understand that, Boyer. My mother used to make entries in my diary. I didn't have any privacy. I had 2 little brothers, but you know what? I got over it.
Well, I haven't. So,
celebrate the differences, Shell.
You're right.
Have a little party.
Hey, you're right.
Here's a hat and a cane.
Thank you.
Have a little parade for the differences.
Yeah. We all have skeletons behind locked doors.
Yes.
And you know what? And also in your defense, I wouldn't want chainsaw in my bedroom either. That's too sticky.
The peaker.
Because they'll be going through everything. Everything.
And I have a bathroom.
Not a good idea.
What's this? Yeah.
Not a good idea.
And
I
know it hurts, chainsaw. I'm sorry.
I was very surprisingly, I was allowed into the Dunn Cave.
Yeah, you did get to see these.
I was allowed in, and you know what? I was not watched carefully. She actually left the room a couple times, and I've been in Shelley's bedroom.
I've seen the bed. I've been in there.
I've been in Shelley's bedroom. I've been I've been in all rooms of the Dunn Cave. Of course, it was just like when the Penguin went to the Batcave. He had to be knocked out first, so that he wouldn't discover the secret entrance. And then she wakes me up once I'm in the living room, and then the wonders.
Forget what you've seen.
As I looked around.
Well, plus there's the other issue of, for me, 2 things. One, I have a bathroom in my room, so chainsaw, the clogger.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, like an Alcatraz cell where you just have a hole in the corner?
It's a Japanese bathroom. It's a squatter. And 2, I trust the people that I live with, but that can't always be the last one to lock the door. So if somebody forgets to lock the door or goes out the garage and the front door is open, then there's a potential...
Quit acting like this is some sort of civic burglary concern of yours. You don't want anyone in your house to go in your room.
Any of you homos.
Any of you roommates.
Right.
Hun? Oh.
I'm really...
Poor Shooty.
Thought it was his wife.
Kind of a knee-jerk reaction.
But isn't that it, really?
No, it really isn't, because I've got everything else that I own. I'm fine with any of my roommates.
So do they have free reign to go in your room anytime they want?
Well, they can't now because it's
But if it's
locked.
unlocked?
Yeah, if they need something for whatever reason, if it's a legitimate issue, sure.
What if they just want to come hang? Sit on your bed and look at your posters?
He puts locks on everything. This computer over here has some sort of goony Boyer passcode on it. Otherwise, someone might get in and see what the joke of the day database looks like.
Not that.
What's the password on that computer?
I can't tell you.
Yes, you can. Why?
There isn't one anymore.
Yeah, well, every time you move the thing around, it said this is passcode protected.
Yeah, it used to be.
So it's unlocked now?
It's unlocked now, and I have a zip disk, and I take all my stuff home.
So anyone can get in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
That's very brave.
Well, I take all my important stuff home.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I remember when he used to put locks on the hood of the bunny car.
Oh, I know.
It's a sewing machine engine. I can get that down at the Singer store.
Ow.
Ow.
David.
I just got David. Did you hear that?
Yep,
I just got the David.
Yep.
He doesn't even know he says it. I call him David?
I just got the David.
Lecturing him, you call him
All right, off the couch, Boyer, you're done.
Podcasts all in one.
Sometimes it's hard to decide what to watch on TV, but Cox Contour TV makes that decision so much easier with the entertainment you love all in one place. You can enjoy live TV, on-demand programs, DVR recordings, even music, all with the sound of your voice and the Contour voice remote. Catch the golf and basketball action you've been waiting for. Get real-time scores, stats, and highlights on the Contour Sports app. You'll learn more about this and all the great services that we offer you at cox.com/contour.
KGB-FM San Diego, Dave, Emily, and Chainsaw. It is the best of program, and Boyer in master control here. A lot of talk about voting reform. Well, the only voting reform I think we need is, how about getting to do it in the polling place? We were going back to 11/3/98, Election Day in 1998, doing a game called Spousal Arousal. You get to call your spouse, ask him to come on down and give you a little action in the voting booth. What do you say? Let's go back to November 3rd, 1998, now on the best of Dave, Emily, and Chainsaw. You're here on the KGB.
Okay, Rob, who are we calling?
Wendy.
All right, who's Wendy?
Be my wife.
All right, now you're going to tell her, hey, I want to meet sometime today to vote. We'll go into the booth and we'll have a quickie.
She's got this meeting till 10 o'clock, but I'm trying to talk her out of it.
Whatever, I don't care. Just try to convince her to meet you for a sexual relationship in the voting booth.
Polls are open until 7 o'clock tonight. Doesn't matter about our meeting.
In honor of our president.
Right.
We're going to poke the vote. Okay?
I'm there.
Here we go. Good luck, Rob.
Thanks.
We're all counting on you, Rob. This is Tom Brokaw, where Rob and Wendy are here poking the vote.
Wendy?
Yes?
Hey, did you put the trash cans out?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you want to go, are you going to vote this morning or this afternoon?
This morning, babe.
Can't wait till this afternoon? We can, meet there?
No, I'm not going to be home. You don't understand. I'm not going to be home till 10 o'clock at night.
All right, I'll meet you.
Well, when can I meet you?
This morning?
Okay, I'll do it.
All right. How about I'll just I'll just bang in sick, just take like half a day, and we can meet there. It's at the elementary school, right?
What time?
What time do you want?
I'll take off right now. So I'll be home in an hour.
Just say I'll meet you there.
Come on, we can do it. I'll meet you there. Anyway, we could have a little fun in the booth. We could do a little Clinton action there.
What are you talking about?
I want to have sex with you in the voting booth.
I want to have sex with you in the voting booth.
Rob.
Come on.
Poke the vote, Wendy.
Look, I've got an hour. I've got to get ready, vote, and be gone on the road.
I'll be there. I'll drive fast.
I'll only take 2 minutes.
Are you in your car phone? Where are you?
I'm at the work. I can take off right now, though.
But why would you?
45 minutes.
Because I want to have sex with you in the voting booth.
Because we got this, it's one time every 4 years we get to do this.
Well, every 2.
We won't get to try it again. So 4 years. Come on, we can do this.
Rob.
Come on.
You're talking nonsense right now.
Poke the vote, Wendy. Say it, Rob.
Come on, we got to poke the vote. In honor of Clinton, we got to do this. It's just over at the school. No one will be there.
If you want to come home, go ahead and come home. I'm not going to promise that I'll meet you there or anything, though.
Come on, I want to have sex.
Come on. I just want to have sex in the poll booth. We can do it.
Rob, where are you?
Call her a selfish lover.
I'm at work. You're selfish. You're being the selfish lover right now. You're not going to share.
That's it. That's it.
You're holding out on me. Come on.
What am I hearing in the background?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just the phone is echoing. You can do it.
Rob,
I'll have you. You'll be gone in time for work. You can be out there by 8:30.
And I'll be awesome.
Where are you in IB?
Yeah, I can make it home.
Just
we'll
say
go
yes.
Straight there. I got the lights. We can be there.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm horny.
Because I'm horny. I haven't been with you in a while. Come on. What do you say? I'll make it worth your while.
Look, Rob, I gotta go because I need to go get ready. This is not sounding like you right now, so I'm gonna hang up.
Who's your daddy?
And I'll talk to you later tonight.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Please.
Who's your daddy?
Rob.
Who's your daddy?
This is not sounding like you right now. I don't understand what's going on.
Daddy? Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Come on. We can do it. We can do it quick.
Who's your daddy, Wendy? Wendy.
Wendy.
Oh.
Who are you wearing right now?
Shot down, Dave.
Wendy. Hello. Hello.
I was shot down in a big way.
Seem to have lost the connection, Rob.
Might have happened when she slammed the phone down.
Kind of hurt my ear.
You don't have to tell the listeners that. They didn't know.
Yeah, you're right. I know. Big blabbermouth.
Giving away the secrets.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
We're doing Election Day spousal arousal right now, and we're going to continue next with Dave, who wants to try to convince his lovely to meet him in the voting booth for a sexual relationship. Good morning, Dave.
Love your show, Dave.
I love yours. What's going on, brother?
Man, this is going to be a hard one.
Why is that?
We had a big fight last night.
Uh-oh.
What was the fight about?
The fight was about she talked about having sex with an ex-boyfriend.
Never good.
Ooh.
Never.
Well, she's just talking about it.
Never good.
She's probably talking about how lousy it was.
Yeah, but he's still a friend and in a circle of friends.
This is not good.
Ooh. But I
Almost
think we can make up.
Almost as bad as the fight Beth and I had last night.
Uh-oh. What'd you fight about?
We had rented a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know now, when you go to Hollywood, you get the movies for 5 days.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
We were on day 4 last night.
Yeah.
So we're going to bed. Said, well, we better watch this movie.
Gotta watch it now.
It's like a school assignment. Neither one of us wanted to watch it, but better watch it.
We have it. We better do it.
So I jammed the thing in, and then we watched the movie. I stick this thing in the VCR, and she's already asleep.
Oh.
She's already asleep by the time I put the movie in the VCR.
Mm-hmm. So you woke her up to fight?
No, I didn't. So I start the thing, I go and I take a shower, and I'm, locking the doors and doing my nighttime routine, and I come back, and the movie is still on, and I think I might have just laid down when I fell dead asleep.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Neither one of us saw any of this movie. Wakes me up at midnight or something. I don't know what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put the movie in? What? What? Did you put the movie in?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, you are such a space case.
Oh.
Did you put? Where's the clicker? I don't know. You don't know where the clicker is. You don't know if you put the movie in. What's wrong with you? So, I curse something, roll over, go to sleep. I wake up this morning. She's like, I haven't slept all night. My alarm clock goes off. 4:30. I get up. I haven't slept all night. Tough. What's the matter? You were an a-hole to me last night. Oh, get over it. You don't even know where the movie is. You don't. What is this?
Jesus, David.
Well, evidently she's irritated with you for some reason.
I'd rather tell me about her big date with Mike Tomzak than...
Better check the calendar.
Jeez, no kidding. Throw a bottle of
Well,
Midol
if
on
you'd keep
her.
your eye on the clicker, geez, she wouldn't have to get pissed off at you. Come on.
It's all our fault, Dave.
I wish I knew what time it was. It's like the
Well, did you put the movie in?
Yeah, I did, and it was playing, and she was sound asleep.
Well, do you know where the clicker
Jelly.
is? Do you know where the
Jelly.
clicker is? Those are the irrational fights that you have when you wake up out of a sound sleep,
Don't you dare take her side on this
I'm
one, Shelley.
not.
You get on my side right now.
I'm mocking her.
Be on my side.
Where's the clicker? Come on.
They've been hanging around a lot.
No, you haven't got the proper voice. Where's the clicker?
Where's the clicker?
Don't you know anything?
Jeez, you're slow on the take.
You're so
God,
spacey.
what an imbecile. God.
What's it like to be spacey like... What the hell are you talking about? All right. Sorry about that, Dave. That's 3 minutes and 17 seconds of me complaining about my fight.
It's all right.
But all the cool guys are named Dave, so I know you understand.
Okay. Let's do this.
Were you guys yelling?
What was she saying about the ex-boyfriend?
Well, it was a lot of food involved, so...
Food?
Come on, get specific. I want to know what this fight was about.
Okay, well, we talked about her having sex with her ex-boyfriend, and we just got engaged about a month ago.
Yeah.
And she wants to finish school first.
Before you get married?
Yeah, she called off the wedding. Well, she postponed the wedding.
You had set a date and now it's postponed?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm kind of upset about that.
Yep.
So, amidst our fight last night, I told her, I said, maybe it's not the wedding you don't want to have. Maybe I'm just the person you don't want to marry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
She said that?
No, I said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's honest.
But that's a dangerous lob.
That's a dangerous lob.
Might as well know the truth.
Yeah.
Falls in her court. And I just happened to be filling out some insurance forms, and I asked her if I should go with Kaiser.
and she thought that I was changing the subject, and got quite upset about that. I'm sure the eye-rolling thing that I do is not too good.
Well, at least I had sex with another man. I mean, don't you know who the clicker is? So how did she get talking about having sex with an old boyfriend?
That was before. We were talking about on the way home.
Why? Who brought it up? You did, didn't you?
Yes.
Dave!
Well, Dave, what do you expect?
I can handle things. I'm smart.
Bad move.
Not like everybody says.
Like what?
Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want the stats.
Don't want to know, don't ask.
Ooh, I'm well aware of that now.
Yeah.
So how did you bring it up, and what did you ask?
We were talking about having sex with food.
Yes.
And I just happened to mention that I've done that in my life. Didn't mention any names. Didn't mention any names.
Cucumbers, bananas.
So you fired the first shot.
Yes.
Yeah, so
but
she
put a
retaliated.
face to the name.
Oh. So she was a little better at the fighting than you were.
Right.
And the face was the guy that she still hangs out with.
Right.
Well, she must have been pretty pissed off at you.
This is all wrong, Dave. What's his name?
His name's Joe.
Joe?
Joe.
All the guys named Joe are almost as cool as the guys named Dave. This is not good. What was the food?
We didn't get that far.
Well, let's find out. Let's dial her up. Screw this bit. I want to know what she and Joe were up to. All right, so in the aftermath, the hazy smoke of this fight, you're going to try to convince her to meet you at the polling place and have sex with you in the voters' booth.
Makeup sex.
Yeah, makeup sex.
And tell her you'll bring a jar of peanut butter.
Okay.
Yes.
And a cucumber.
No, let's see.
All right.
You'll bring a jar of peanut butter and a bran muffin.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
I got your food, baby.
Bran muffin.
Now, what are you going to bring? What kind of food?
Peanut butter and bran muffins.
A jar of peanut butter and a jar of Skippy.
Okay.
Welcome to high school.
Ew. 289.
Welcome to high school.
289, please. Good luck.
Thanks.
Computer lab.
Hey, Danny.
Hi.
Sorry about the fight this morning.
That's okay.
Sure?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a great idea.
What's that?
Okay, today's Voters' Day, right?
Uh-huh.
And we have to vote in North Park today, right?
Oh, we do?
Yeah, because you have to vote where you live.
Okay, I think I'm still registered in UC.
Well, that's
it's
close.
okay, you guys. You're using it for Cornelia, so that's okay.
Hey, don't talk to the kids.
I'm sorry.
So I was thinking maybe we could have, we can meet there and vote together.
In North Park?
Well, in wherever.
God, you sound really bad.
That's okay. Well,
but I feel good.
I don't feel too good about the fight we had.
I'm a vagina.
So anyway, listen, I think maybe we could vote together, right?
Uh-huh.
We could kind of sneak in a little booth together.
Oh, you swear.
Hey, listen, it's a makeup session.
I don't think so, Dave. Besides, the things are made out of cardboard. It would, topple over.
It won't. But hey, listen.
I'll bring some food.
I'll bring some food. We'll do the little food thing between me.
What?
Come on.
Tell her what you'll bring.
I'll bring a jar of Skippy and a bran muffin.
A jar of Skippy. Have you been reading, your nasty magazines again?
Hey, who's your daddy?
Oh, you're so sick.
Meet me
Meet me there.
in the voters'
Yeah,
booth.
okay, I'll meet you there.
Will you?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Will you have sex with me in the
Will you
voters'
have
booth?
sex with me?
Yeah, sure.
In the voters' booth.
In the voters' booth.
Yeah, sure.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Take the.
Are you serious?
Of course not.
We mean, of course. Come on.
David, I need to get back to work.
I want you to spread peanut butter on my chest.
I want you to spread peanut butter on my chest when you vote. Come on, who's your daddy?
Aren't you at work?
And then dab at it with a bran muffin.
Come on, and then you can eat the bran muffin.
No, dab at it with a bran
You can
muffin.
dab at it with the bran.
All right, Dave.
Hey.
What?
Who's your daddy?
Come
on.
I forget. What am I supposed to say?
Say you are Papa.
Oh, that's right. You are Daddy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here.
Are you going to meet me?
Hey!
What?
Are you going to meet me?
Yeah.
For sex.
For sex.
Yes, Dave. Fine.
At the voters' booth.
At the voters' booth.
Yes, fine.
And the bran muffin.
And the bran muffin and the peanut butter.
Okay. Bran muffin, peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cups, whatever. I gotta go.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Ooh, who loves you?
I love you.
Who loves you?
Okay, gotta go.
Hey. Don't hang up yet.
Why? I have to go.
Why?
Say brr brr.
Come on, baby.
Brr brr. You're grossing me out now, Dave.
We're all grossed out.
You're grossing me out.
Come on, Daddy. Don't hang up.
What?
What?
Huh?
What?
Oh my God! Please don't be the radio.
Okay, we're not.
Please don't be a radio.
I knew it was a matter of time before you did this to me.
Hey, what language were you speaking before there for a second?
Why would I say?
I don't know, but what language were you speaking? Didn't you spin off into some kind of lingo?
Well, no, I might have been talking to some of the students.
Oh, I see. All right. So you're going to meet Dave in the voters' booth, smear his nipples with peanut butter, and dab at it with a bran muffin.
Johnny.
Yeah. How are you, Daniela?
I'm embarrassed.
So all we want to know, really,
Yeah.
what did you eat off Joe?
Oh my God.
We heard all about the fight. We feel just horrible about it.
We know that there was food and Joe. We want to know what kind of food it was.
I was 15.
Wow.
Well, even
Gee,
better.
Christmas. What was it, a pixie stick or something? Bubblegum? Bub's Daddy? What was it? What were you eating off Joe?
I think it was whipped cream.
Whipped cream, yes, the
Don't
old
wanna hear it,
standby.
Dave.
The old standard. In a tub or the squirt out kind? Makes a difference.
Squirt out kind does
Aerosol can or a
The
tub of cool?
aerosol can.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you can draw little messages. You know.
Yes, yes.
Word messages.
You know you're dealing with a dud when they bring a tub of Cool Whip to the origin.
Low-fat Cool Whip.
Wait a minute, you said bring whipped cream. Thanks a lot. So they bring the Dream Whip, the powdered
Yeah.
kind that you got to mix.
Wow.
Hang on, this will be done in a minute. Daniela.
Yes.
I'm busy. I gotta go.
All right,
See you later. Bye. I was busier than someone else for a change.
Good for you.
Oh, wonderful. Nicely done, Dave.
Appreciate it.
You're out of the fight. You handled it well. You apologized, and you're going to get peanut butter and bran muffin today.
You're the man, Dave.
Yes.
AGB from iHeartRadio.
Can you remember years back when you were babysitting my children for me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You remember them, don't you?
I do. We just heard from them this week.
Carly and Allie.
Yeah.
One moved to Los Angeles. The other one thought, that's not quite far enough. Let's take it all the way to New York City.
Yeah.
And my oldest opened up her own company and moved to New York City the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
She lives there now, has her own business. And what do you think of when you think of living in New York? What is stereotypical life in New York for you?
Lots of horns honking, small spaces, lots of people, traffic that moves very slowly, so you would never own a car, lots of walking, hot nuts on the street.
Hot nuts on the street?
Yeah, it's my favorite cart.
Carly, have you experienced hot nuts on the street yet? What are hot nuts? Let me go to this New Yorker. Carly, are you a New Yorker? Have you had hot nuts on the street? I don't want to know.
I've had hot nuts on the street.
Yeah, girl.
It's what every father wants to hear.
Nuts for nuts.
Hot nuts on the street.
She's got it nuts for nuts.
What does that mean?
You're nuts for
That's
nuts.
what it's called.
Is that
That's
right?
what it's called.
What kind of nuts?
I think I don't know.
You've had
They're
hot nuts.
hot.
You've had hot nuts on the street?
They're hot, and I've had the scent of it as I walk by. Look, Dad, I'm playing along with the bit. Do you mind?
That's fine. That's good.
Good girl.
It's funny. And my youngest daughter, Allie, lived in New York for just a couple of months a year or two ago, and she wanted to be a New Yorker, so she went out and bought herself a hot dog from one of the vendors on the street and went home and promptly barfed it up. So
Yeah, I'm too afraid of the hot dogs and the pretzels. I've heard terrible things, but the hot nuts,
I haven't had that experience. Every time I go to New York, I really enjoy it.
Dad, I'll get you a bag of hot nuts if that's what you want.
Hot nuts on the street. So Carly calls me yesterday, and she is telling me about a less than pleasant experience that she had, which I thought just initiated her as a New Yorker. So if you think of the not so pleasant, hot nuts on the street, everybody loves.
yes.
But less than pleasant experiences. And she's telling me about this, and I was like, well, then now you're a New Yorker, aren't you?
Ooh.
And she didn't seem that excited about it.
Not convinced.
But she's giving me the whole rundown on this story, and I thought, you've got to hear this.
Okay.
You got to hear this. So you want to tell everyone exactly how this came down yesterday?
Yeah, sure. So I guess you need to understand that in my apartment, I have a little room I use as a living room and then my bedroom, and they're separated by a wall. So I'm not in like a big open floor plan where you can see everything. So I was sitting on my couch yesterday, working from home, as most of us are, not you guys, I know. And it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
Here we go. What's the matter? What are you shaking? Why are you waving me off? Why are you shaking your head and waving me off right now?
Well, that's not a good sign for anything.
You don't like things out of the corner of your eye?
Not a damn thing. If there's not a human in the room with you, nothing else should be.
No, she lives alone.
So I saw a little something, and I look up over the top of my laptop, and walking down my hallway, like he owns the place, is a cockroach.
A New York-sized cockroach?
How do you know? How do you know he? What do you mean walking down like he owns the place?
I told you he had the most smug attitude I've ever seen. It was so outrageous. I was like, no one asked you to be here. And
Smug.
he had smug.
Smug. He was a smug cockroach.
He was so smug.
If he had been just a little bit more gracious, do you think your attitude would have been slightly different?
Yeah, you know what? I do.
So here comes the smug cockroach down the hall.
Yeah, I'm laughing about it now, but I had a physical reaction I've never had before. I think I discovered I have a phobia because I was instantly damp all over my entire body. My armpits were immediately wet. My palms instantly. So I'm sitting in the little living room. I see him trotting down the hallway like it's just a day in the park, and he walks into my bedroom.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
Was he beckoning you?
He was smug.
That's confident.
Those smug ones are like, let's go in here, baby.
He even noticed that I was here. Yeah, I don't think he even cared. So I had to make sure that I saw what I saw. So I leaned cautiously my head over the wall and looked in my bedroom, and he was chilling in the middle of the room. And I was like, oh my God. So I walked back into the living room. I'm getting shaky right now just talking about it. It was such an extreme physical and emotional reaction. And I was like, I need to kill this bug, but I don't know if I can do this.
You got all sweaty, huh?
I was sweating. I was shaking. I felt nauseous. And I can kill a spider. I can, I don't really freak out. I mean, it's gross, but I don't really freak out. But I had a crazy reaction to this cockroach.
Have you never seen a cockroach before?
I've seen them, but I've never had to face them head to head. I've never gone 1v1, me and a cockroach.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so my first thought was, I'm going to move out of New York.
Yes. Yep.
Right away.
Wait, now.
Just leave your crap and go.
There's cockroaches everywhere.
This sweet little La Jolla girl, suddenly faced with a smug cockroach. Now I have to leave. I have to move out of New York? That was your first thought?
I gotta go. My first thought. Because I was like, I could kill this bug. I could put on my big girl pants and kill this bug, or I could just move out of New York right this second.
It's an
Those
option.
are my options. So I checked on it. It's sitting in my bedroom. I come back into the living room. I put on a pair of shoes to stomp on it.
What do you think crunches more, a cockroach or hot nuts on the street?
Oh, cockroach.
What is he doing in the bedroom now?
So, great question. I put my shoes on. I peek back into the bedroom. Gone. Can't see him. I've lost him. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm fully freaking out because I'm like, now I have to hunt him down. And there's going to be a chase sequence. And this is not what I want. I don't want to find him hiding in a t-shirt. I just was freaking out. So I walked back into the family room, in the living room, just pacing, trying to talk myself into doing this. And I look over, and this smug cockroach just toddles into the room I'm in. And I'm like, okay, I crush him with all of the force in my body while I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
Oh my gosh, your neighbors are
Were you prepared for the crunch?
I didn't hear the crunch over my own shrieking.
Well, at least you knew where he was. Well, I mean, had you fantasized about where he might have been hiding?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, look, did I have a couple of clothes on the floor that I probably needed to put away? Sure. Did I think he was snuggling up inside of them, just waiting for me to put my T-shirt on unexpectedly? Yes.
Pillows, bed.
Oh, I was like, he's in my bed. He just crawled right in, made himself at home. He's taking a snooze. Yeah.
So you pounced on this guy.
I pounced on him. I cleaned it up with a paper towel and some cleaning product, screaming during that as well.
How was it?
Naturally.
Oh God.
Huge.
How bad was the carnage?
It was bad, and because it's so big and you guys know it has that shell. Ugh.
Yeah. Your shoes.
Is there a stain?
Your shoes have to go in the garbage from that thing.
I washed my shoe off. I know. And so it was disgusting. Like, it was so much mess to clean up because it was so big.
It was a murder scene.
So gross. Disgusting. So I was screaming as I cleaned that up too. And I thought, like, all I've heard about cockroaches is they're impossible to kill. So even though I had this thing squashed and in pieces, I was like, is it going to come back to life?
Like a Terminator. Like the Terminator. It'll just start to, like, the body pieces will suck back together and reanimate.
If they can survive nuclear war, they can survive my Birkenstock. Like, surely this thing is going to, like, just zip itself back together and come back for me.
Right.
So I clean it up. Then I lose my actual mind. Like, I can't calm down because I'm like, there has to be more. So I Google what to do if you find a cockroach. And the internet is like, baby girl, if you found a cockroach, there are 100 more for every one you've seen. And if you see one during the day, you have an infestation because they're nocturnal. So they're running out of places to hang out if you see one during the day.
If you see one during the day, that means they're so full in their holding spot that they're kicking standing room only cockroaches.
Yes.
And they're smug.
Yeah,
they
they
kick
are.
the smug ones out.
Because they know they can handle it.
So I'm spiraling out of control. I call my father. Guess what? He doesn't answer. Great. I call my friend. She's like, she lives 2 blocks from me. She's like, yeah, I've seen a cockroach before. I just killed it. I was like, that's not good enough. I reach out to a couple other friends. They're like, oh, you've got a problem. Call an exterminator. So I call New York City Pest Control. And I get, like, the woman answering the phone. And I'm like, hi, I just found a cockroach in my house. I Googled it. It says there's 100 more. What do I do? And she was like...
Were you still sweaty?
Did
you tell her you were
God.
sweaty?
I'm, like, still sweaty now.
Yeah. You're triggered.
And she's like, I'm confused. Like, are you calling me because you need an exterminator? And I was like, I don't know, ma'am. I'm calling you because I'm losing my marbles. And she was like, okay, I'm going to put you on the phone with a technician. So she transfers me to this guy named Billy.
Billy the technician?
Oh, no.
Billy the technician.
Billy.
And what did
I'm in
Billy
love
say
with
to you?
Billy.
You are?
Billy and I need to get married. I fell in love with him.
Okay.
I confronted him with the same panic that the woman answering the phone got. I was like, Billy, I just found a cockroach in my apartment. I crushed it. I Googled it. It says there's 100 more. I'm freaking out. Do you need to come over here? What do I do? Billy's like, okay. Now, how big was the animal?
The animal.
It's disgusting.
The animal. How big is the animal?
The animal. How big was the animal?
All right.
Disgusting to call it an animal. And I was like, Billy, it was huge. And he was like, was it bigger than an inch? I was like, yes. He was like, well, bigger than an inch? I'm like, yes.
Did you
well,
tell him
bigger
it
than
was
an inch.
smug?
We didn't get to its personality traits yet. We were working on physical first.
Okay.
And he goes, all right, it is not a cockroach. What you have is a water bug.
What's a water bug? What's a water bug?
A water bug.
A water
Every
bug.
apartment in New York City has a water bug. They come from the basement. It's very normal to see a water bug, and it does not mean that there's 100 more. Don't believe everything you read on Google.
No, Billy, the technician, is calming you down now.
Oh, I'm starting to get... When he said, don't believe everything you read on Google, I was like, oh, here we go. This is it. This is what I need to hear. Like, because Google so far has, made me to a point where I need therapy.
Right.
So, yeah, he said that it's very common. It had come from the basement, and they come... This is disgusting. Get ready for it. But they come up through the pipes. So it probably came into my apartment through the drain, like the sink drain.
Jeez.
But it does not mean I have an infestation. It's just, I guess, a normal thing. I mean, I called a friend of mine who lives in a very beautiful 3-story apartment on the Upper East Side, and I told her, and she was like, I see them in my home too. And I was like, okay, so it's not me living in a garbage can that's the problem. It's New York that's the problem.
If Princess Grace has them on the East Side... That must have made you feel a little bit better. But wait a minute, how do they come up through the pipes? How does the water not flush them out? I don't get that.
I mean, aren't cockroaches like so strong? So it's technically a cockroach. It's an American cockroach.
Yeah.
But apparently in New York, we call them whatabugs.
Whatabugs.
Because they're so, they're so common. And so he was like, you did not have a German cockroach. Like, that's the problem. German cockroach, that's the one you got to have me out for. He was like, in my professional opinion, you do not need an exterminator. I was like, okay. So, yeah, I guess.
What did he tell you to do?
Oh, so I was like, is this going to happen again? And he was like, it could. And I was like, okay, if I see another one, do I just keep stomping on them? And he was like, oh, my God, get yourself a bottle of Raid.
A bottle? A bottle? He said a bottle of Raid?
Yeah.
To take care of the animal? New Yorkers talk funny. Yeah.
How big was the animal?
How big was the animal? Get a bottle of Raid. So he didn't like that you're stomping around in Birkenstocks on these smug cockroaches that are toddling through your apartment?
He didn't. He was like, I'm an exterminator. I'm not stomping on bugs. I was like, okay. I'm sorry.
He's professional. He's got his weapons.
I was left to my own devices. But he was so nice. He was like, if you need me, you call back, you ask for Billy, and I'll come out there, okay? I'm like, absolutely.
Well, Billy talked you down, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. Well, listen, you've had hot nuts on the street. Mm-hmm. You've had a smug water bug in your apartment toddling through. Now you got to go get yourself a bottle of Raid, and I think you're an official New York City person.
I think so, too.
I think you're a New York doll at this point. I'm glad Billy, the technician, was able to talk you through this thing.
I'm sorry, Dad. There's someone at my front door. I'm so sorry. These things happen while we're on the air, that there's going to be a little noise.
It's not another smug cockroach. Did they just come in through the front door now?
No, they're knocking.
He's moving in.
Yeah. The question is, do you feel safe in New York City now?
Thank you so much. Sorry about that, you guys.
Her Raid delivery.
It's a bottle of Raid coming in now.
It's a bottle of Raid.
It's a bottle of Raid coming in now.
It's Billy dropping by personally. So sorry about that. I don't have a buzzer, so I got to go in.
That's all right. I understand. I hope now that you do feel safe in New York City. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Dad. I feel very equipped to handle whatever comes my way.
All right, honey. I love you. Thanks for sharing the story. Good Lord. Smug cockroaches.
Never knew there was such a thing.
Podcasts all in one.
Here's a hero story. Coolest thing your dad ever did. That's what I want to know. Celebrating dads for Father's Day. Mr. John says, my dad was a volunteer firefighter in New Jersey. Mom, Dad, and I were out to dinner. On our way home, a call came over the radio. So they all have their cars. They always had their gear in their trunk. So he met the trucks at the house fire with me and my mom. I watched my dad run back in the fully engulfed flames into the house and returned with a puppy he had saved. Yeah. You know, he just grabbed some random puppy, ran in the house, kicked stuff around for a little bit, and came out. Ta-da! Look what I did. That's John. His dad saved a puppy from a burning house. That's the classic right there. What's going to be your favorite story? You're invited now, 888-570-1015. It's time to hear your hero dad story. Scott, you got a hero dad?
Yeah, I sure do. My dad he was a doctor, and he was at a house call once, and the patient, I'm not sure all the details, but couldn't breathe, and he got to the point he was turned blue. It was pretty much,
bye-bye.
check out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he turned a full MacGyver, got a knife, cut into the guy's trachea, and then looked around, didn't have, anyway, found one of the old big stick pens, pulled out the pen part, and used that, like it's like a, almost like a hard straw, and stuck that in his throat. And the guy started breathing, and survived.
Easy does it. I watch MASH. I saw the Father Mulcahy one.
Yeah.
That's straight out of MASH.
Had to talk to him over the radio.
They did. Father Mulcahy cut a hole in a guy's throat because Hawkeye was telling him. He says, "What do you got? A pen? Use the pen. He'll be able to breathe." He's not turning into blue anymore. He's breathing. Try again. Try a show I don't watch.
Ken Levine and David Isaac say hello.
Call me in with a plot line from This Is Us. I'll fall for that one.
I'll be on you then.
You fell for it. Mike, you're on the DSC. You got a hero dad story for me?
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I do, but listening to that one before me reminded me of another one, so I'm going to have to change it and tell you about this one, okay?
Uh-oh.
So, I grew up in a small town in upstate New York, and there's all volunteer firemen and everything, and my dad was a volunteer fireman. And, of course, I just got my license, and I got my my new hot rod, which was a 69 Mustang, and, of course, my parents were all upset about that. But anyway, I was out one night, and I got in a car accident, and a pretty bad one. And come to find out, my father answered that call, and he pretty much saved my life.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Saved his life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's expected of heroes. Got to save a life, right?
Right.
That's pretty good. It's pretty strong. Robbie says, my dad took me to Washington, D.C. for a week when I was 10. We saw everything we could see. We had a great time. Got back to find the cops waiting for us.
Oh.
My mom told them my dad took me. My dad laughed in her face, turned around, shook the cop's hand, and said, "Now you know why I called her from your phone to set up the vacation." He straight up called her out, had the police back him up, even had them record the conversation to act as a record of her acknowledgement and agreement to my dad taking me to D.C.
Whoa.
Sounds like Dad knew that Mom was trouble.
Yeah.
Naomi says, my bonus dad. What's a bonus dad?
A stepdad, but sometimes called bonus dads.
Okay.
Or, a father figure.
Okay. My bonus dad, this is Naomi, says it doesn't matter what you are, but what you do. By 14, he taught me to ride a motorcycle, drive a stick shift, shoot a .22, tamp concrete. Gotta wonder if he wanted to share what he knew, or I was just child labor free to use and be entertained by. But he still rocks decades later. You're going to have to vote for your favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
So keep track.
You got it.
Quiet Talking James takes a break from preparing dinner and a record to play for tonight.
Yes.
To tell me, I was about 4 years old. My dad ran the local dump. Oh, Boyer is blasting wood.
Completely.
Can you imagine if your dad ran the dump?
Completely.
Jeez, Boyer.
I think my great-grandfather ran the dump in his town.
Wow, that's a great story. And there were squatters that my cool dad let stay there. A family that helped out, they had chickens. And my 4-year-old dumbass chased them. And when the old rooster had had enough of me, he chased me and hooked onto my neck. Dad came running out, picked up a rock, sidearm threw a 30-foot rocket, hit that rooster in the head, and killed him to death on the spot. 4-year-old me watched him walk over like Gary Gosh darn Cooper, grab the limp body of that rooster, and heave it into the dumpster. And then I got my ass whipped for screwing with those chickens. But I will never forget the sidearm strike that got that chicken off my neck. Dad, hero forever. Richard, give me call letters and a time check.
Hey, one time my dad was a fireman.
All right, let's just jump right into the story. Welcome to the KGB, Richard. Your dad, the firefighter. Go ahead.
Right. He was a firefighter, and he had a call out, and the other firemen were telling him, he was driving the truck, and the other firemen were telling him, just keep going, keep going. He goes, what's the address? What's the address? So when he turned the corner, he figured out it was his own house. So he jumped out, put the fire out, and that's one of the stories I have of my dad.
They did not want to tell him that it was his address, did they?
No, he just kept driving and driving. They said, keep driving, keep driving.
Just keep driving. So, you'll know it. You'll see it. You'll recognize it. Looks like your house, only it's on fire. Yeah. That's bad. Do you think you get a bunch of crap at the firehouse if your own house burns down?
Especially if you were there.
How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Denny on the DSC. Denny, why? Tell me your dad hero story.
Well, first, it's 7:52 on the DSC show.
Thank you, Danny. Now I feel complete.
How it's done.
That's it.
I tell you, my dad was a hard man. He served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and we went camping. And he liked to take us hiking and fishing and stuff like that, which was cool. But one time we went to the Lawrence Welk place, and there was a little taco shop on the street, and some biker gang came by and started breaking bottles and stuff. So him and his Navy buddies wrapped their belts around their hands and kicked their asses.
That is something that I would never do.
Oh, it's great to see your dad kick ass as long as it's not yours.
Oh, no doubt. They weren't going to have any of that, were they?
Oh, man, I'm telling you, my chest puffed out so big.
No doubt. That's pretty cool.
It was cool.
Right on, Danny. Thanks, buddy. Listener Bill says, my dad built a plane from scratch. Not a kit. A real plane. It took him 9 years to do it. He eventually sold it. It only had one seat, and by then I had a plane with 2 seats, and we flew together. It still lives, though, based in Ramona. Kara says, I'm pretty sure my dad is the inspiration for Spicoli. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is based off Claremont High, and that's where he went to high school in the 70s. He raised hell having keggers at the flagpole before school, hotboxing his van that had crushed velvet curtains, proudly earned himself the nickname Mr. 151. His graduating class was written in the newspaper as the rowdiest, uncontrollable class, passing joints, booze, and other party favors during the commencement speeches. So proud. He could be. He might be the inspiration for Spicoli.
Mm-hmm.
That's his school. And here is Jeff on the DSC. Jeff, let me hear your dad hero story.
All right, Dave. My dad was a local motorcycle racer, raced Elkhorn Speedway before they paved it. And we used to go camping a lot. We were out at Lake Jennings. I was just a little baby, about 2 years old. I slipped in the water, and my mom didn't know how to swim. There was another kid, a friend, older kid, standing there screaming, Jeff's in the water, Jeff's in the water, oh no, oh no. My dad is kind of a hero, but he's more like Super Dave Osborne type of hero. Mm-hmm. So here comes my dad running down the shoreline, does a giant swan dive to save me, and the water's only about 18 inches deep. Just slams his face head first, comes up with me in his arms, but he's got, blood coming down his face and stuff, and stands there. Everybody's laughing their butts off, but he's like, yeah, he saved the baby.
That's right. The swan dive for effect. You got to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, let me hear from you. 888-570-1015. The best story. We're all going to have a vote. It's going to win that dinner out with you and your dad, or whoever. Mm-hmm. Off to the elbow room. Christopher says, this is actually about my grandpa, Papa Cecil. Well, it's your grandfather, isn't it, Chris Moore?
Yes, it is, David. Thank you.
He was a retired Marine gunnery sergeant. A real hard ass. He was never one to show any emotions to anyone. At least not until I was 21 and I decided to join the Navy. The day I told him, he got up from his favorite chair, stuck out his hand to shake mine. And once we were shaking hands, he pulled me in and hugged me and told me he was very proud of me and that he loved me very much. Sadly, he never got to see me in uniform because he passed away while I was in boot camp and I was not allowed to go home for the funeral. But that little showing of affection showed me he was grooming me to be a man, and some people just show it in different ways. I miss him every day. My grandpa Cecil, Papa Cecil. That's Christopher. All right, let's get your story next. 888-570-1015. We'll hear them all. We'll vote for our favorite. Send you out for a burger and a beer at the Elbow Room for the best story of them all this morning on the DSC for Father's Day.
The DSC is back on the
KGB on iHeartRadio.
The DSC is back on the KGB.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Can you give me call letters and a time check?
803 on the KGB.
I like it. Well done. Tell me your story about your hero dad.
Back in the 70s, my father owned a gas station up north of Seattle. And there was a bank behind his gas station. And one day there was a bank robbery going on. He got in his pickup truck and T-boned the bank robbers.
Oh, on purpose?
On purpose.
Wow.
So, and then the bank bought him this big, they fixed his truck and then bought him this big half-inch thick steel bumper.
Nice.
Robber basher.
Yeah, they want. They said just keep doing laps around the bank, right?
Something like that.
That's cool.
It off, my father got a presidential citation for
No
it.
kidding. Well, that's cool.
The bad part about the presidential citation is it was from Richard Nixon.
I am not a bank robber. All right, very good. That's good. Thank you, Mike. That's pretty good, having a presidential I'd take a presidential citation. That's all right. Dear Dave, when I was 6, Dad took me down to 36th Street and showed me the USS Destroyer Canberra that he was stationed on. Then he took me to work with him at the Naval Hospital, and we had lunch in the mess hall where I had all the chocolate milk I could drink.
Ooh. That's big time.
That's big.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very good. Sarah, didn't you have one that you wanted to tell me?
Yeah, my dad's so cool.
Go ahead.
He was a business consultant, so he had across the country, across the world, so he had a lot of random connections. And in 2010, my mom was in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, when the earthquake hit. And people may not know or may not remember that it was complete chaos in that country that first week, those first few days. We couldn't get in touch with my mom. We didn't know for a little bit if they had survived. It was crazy. CNN showed up with their satellites at our church to try and contact our group. It was crazy.
And what was all the turmoil?
It was after the earthquake.
The earthquake.
All these buildings collapsed. All these people died. The orphanage my mom was staying at turned into like a MASH scene. People were coming there for help. So it was just crazy. The government was totally not letting people in. It was just, the government was not letting anybody in to help. So my dad somehow knew this private security team of all these retired Navy SEALs and people like that. They secretly flew a plane to the Dominican Republic right on the border of Haiti, right near the border.
Secret spy plane?
Uh-huh. Then they took a helicopter and they flew into Haiti in the middle of the night to a secret drop point. The guys from the plane snuck over into the orphanage, collected my mom and the missions team, snuck them back in the dark to this helicopter and flew them over the border to a plane to safety and got them back to the States.
He's like Liam Neeson in Taken.
Yes, my dad made all of that happen.
Liam Neeson in Taken had to go find his wife and his daughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he make that phone call? I don't know who you are. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, that's one to consider here this morning. Listener Don says, my dad designed the tooling for the escape pod on the B-1 bomber and designed the tooling that stamped out the heat shield tiles for the nose cone of the space shuttle that landed at Montgomery Field. Huh. Carla says, 1976, my dad took my sister out of school, me and my sister out of school to see The Who at San Diego Sports Arena. Our seats were right behind Keith Moon. So cool.
Wow.
That's kind of fun. Dear Dave, coolest thing my dad ever did? Banged my mom, got her knocked up. Months later, I came along. Well, that's pretty good when you think about it. Anyone else here in the studio got a story they want to share about Hero Dad?
I don't have anything. Haiti hijinks.
What was that?
Haiti hijinks.
What's Haiti hijinks? What do you mean?
With Sarah's dad.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's
Right,
epic.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Boyer, got something you want to tell?
No, sir.
Dear Dave, says Vinny, my dad was a World War II Guadalcanal Marine, twice wounded, managed to come out alive, serving his country. Listener Bob says, when I worked at WPLJ in New York, I convinced my dad, who was a New Jersey state assemblyman, to put a bill in to make Born to Run the state theme song of New Jersey. That's pretty cool. I think that worked, too. Listener Steve used to do all kinds of jingles for us. Says, my dad taught me how to throw a curveball. I don't know how to do that. Is that even possible? Mere mortals can throw a curveball?
Who knew?
You ever see a fielder, like a particularly good fielder in a real game, who can catch a line drive or a pop-up maybe out to close to the warning track, and then he fires a strike to home? Now, how far is that?
350, 400 feet?
It's 350 feet minimum.
Yeah.
Right? So, yesterday I was out at the park with my dog, and I have one of those big whip things with a tennis ball, the big thing like that. And I'm like, I wonder if I can throw 350 feet. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They don't use those in major leagues, do they?
They don't.
Those
no.
big whipper
No,
things?
they just use their arms.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't done the math on it yet. I got 88 steps, which is like 88 yards. So what's 88 times 3?
9 times 3 is 270.
264.
264. That's as far as I could get. That's it.
Still good.
With a chuck it.
All right. That's as far as I could heave it, though.
In some baseball fields, the warning track is 264, so you're good.
I'm not talking Little League.
Okay.
The park in the park.
Yeah.
They have the little kid in the field.
Oh, man. Oh, God, was my shoulder sore. I took I took 3 big, I wasn't running.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Launches.
Here is Angela on the DSE. Angela, let me hear your Hero Dad story.
Hey, when I was real little in the early 80s, my dad saw a car accident. We were driving along, pulled over, helped the boy who was all bloody into our car, and took him to the hospital, and I just was forever changed. That was so heroic that he helped someone and let the bloody boy in their car and took him to the hospital.
Rescued him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's hero stuff right there. I'll put you on the list. Thanks, Angela. I'll put you on the list. Here is Miles on the DSC. What's up, Miles?
Morning, Dave. Love your show.
I love yours. Let's hear your story.
All right. So when I was a kid, me and my brother happened to be on the same team in Little League. But also, unfortunately, my dad had to work in Yuma to pay the bills at the time. So anyway, he missed a lot of games. But one time I remember specifically, me and my brother happened to get a double play. And I look up, and my dad had driven 3 hours from Yuma just to watch that game and then drove back to go to work the next day.
What a game for
He
him to
still
drive
talks about it
to
today.
3 hours to see you pull off the double play. Solid.
Yep, he still talks about it today.
Damn right. I'd never stop talking about it. Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. All right, I'll put you on the list, Miles.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, buddy. On my Facebook page, I see Bromo posted a picture of himself in a wedding gown.
Yeah.
And, of course, his Padres hat. His crazy, out-of-control hair, and his father singing next to him. He says, my dad loved singing no matter what the occasion was, and he loved being on the Dave Kelly and Chainlink show. You remember when Bromo got married to Pepe and Wayne was there to sing? He was the wedding entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't even care that his son was marrying a bum. All he wanted to do was sing. He just wanted to sing Roy Acuff songs.
Abramos, before I hang up on you, what's the coolest thing your dad ever did for you? Dave. I gave him one of my leftover brown gals.
What are you, gay?
Sloppy seconds.
I can only remember the awful, embarrassing time.
No, something cool that your dad did for you. I let you wear my fringe jacket.
Oh, I shared his underwear with them.
That's right.
I'm trying to think.
The coolest thing your dad ever did for you. What are you going to do for your dad for Father's Day?
I'm taking him out to dinner, actually.
Very nice.
I'm going to take him to the Outback.
How generous.
For
on a Thursday.
Right. On Dave.
It's all on me. All on me.
Tell your dad I said Happy Father's Day.
With this free gift certificate,
Yes.
you mean?
No, I don't have a free certificate.
No,
I won't get him until later today.
What is the coolest thing your dad ever did for you?
I'm trying to think. It's been a lot of things he's done.
Sure.
Give my dad a tour of the radio station for Father's Day. You gotta tell me how to tuck my pants into my boots.
I know it's a cool thing. He took me down to Guadalajara for a year. In Mexico. We lived down
And
there.
left you there.
No.
But he found his way back like a stray
Hey,
dog.
kindergarten, what the?
There was a touching story that Abramowitz
No,
has.
no.
Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
Go ahead.
He was happy to tell it to Cindy Spicer.
Well, go ahead. Tell your story.
Abramowitz and his dad are in Mexico, and I guess Abramowitz is about 18 years old.
All right, let me tell it, Boyer. I'm 18.
Is this when they lived down there? You lived in Guadalajara for a year?
Right, I was 18. I just fresh out of high school. I didn't have very many dates. You know, I was kind of a...
Really?
Yeah. I was kind of a rookie when it came to going out.
I'm having a hard time grasping it.
What?
Go ahead.
I believe you weren't a big stud back then.
I wasn't. I'm still not. But anyway, I met this Hispanic gal who liked me for some reason. And she couldn't speak any English at all, and I couldn't speak any Spanish. But somehow we sort of
Spoke the language of love.
I don't know, yeah.
L echo O L crud.
And my dad was like the mediator. Every time we went out to dinner, he would like talk Spanish to her, and then he would kind of like, you know, be like the guy who mediates everything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
El Niño, homosexualo.
So anyway, one
So
night
he was mediating, which just means that he mediated everything. He mediated everything, right?
One night,
Or cut into the action.
we went to the movies, and I stayed out later than I normally did, and I missed the last bus. And you know what happens when, you know what happens when you're messing around. And how do I explain this? Anyway, I missed the last bus, and since I was with her all day and all night, you know, not like we didn't do that, but we messed around, you know, a lot. So I missed the last bus, so I had to walk 2 miles home. Well, it just so happened that I had a major case of a, I don't know how you even say it on the radio. You know,
What the hell is that?
You know when a guy gets excited over and over and over and over, and then he get.
Yeah, that one happens.
Periwinkle testicles?
Yeah, blue.
Yeah.
Blue,
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Ruthie?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I had to walk home like that for 2 miles, but since I was only 18, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what I had. So I came home and I had to...
Dad.
Look at this.
Can you help me out with this?
I thought I had some major injury, so I had to wake up my dad. I said, Dad.
Oh, my God.
I said, Dad, I had to walk home. I missed the bus. Dad, I could barely walk, Dad. What's the matter? I go, well, there's major pain down below in my...
On your sack?
My hoo-hoo dilly broke.
certain area. So my dad wound up taking me... My dad wound up taking me to a hospital where a Spanish doctor wound up telling my dad in Spanish that I had a case of the blue balls.
Oh, El Niño,
Aqua huevos.
And in English, he tried to explain to me what the doctor had said to him, and he couldn't do it. Dave, the doctor said...
you gotta go with a little wacko.
So that's how I found out about blue balls.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, I didn't know, Ruth. I was only 18.
Quite a story.
And you were able to share it with
So your dad took you to the hospital.
Right.
And he was able to have you properly diagnosed.
Right.
And did your dad help you with your therapy?
No, he didn't help me with my therapy.
He gave you a Playboy and a box of tissues?
That's hero work right there. He's blue.
Why can you be blue over me?
You guys ever have your father help you out with blue balls like that before?
No, sir.
How about Papa Cecil?
No, never even Papa Cecil.
He never got involved? He was mighty blue.
Tears fill my eyes till I can't see.
Travis, did your dad ever help you out with blue balls before?
No.
Well, what kind of hero work did he do for you?
I'll tell you, Dave. First of all, I'd like to say good morning and may the force be with you.
Indeed.
my dad.
Go ahead.
My dad took me to see Star Wars May 25th, 1977 at the Mission Valley Mall. I was 6 years old and I stood in a line for about 4 hours. But that guy's my hero, man. It was a life-changing experience.
And aside from your dad being the greatest hero for taking you to see Star Wars, who was your favorite character in Star Wars that day when you're 6 years old?
Okay. When you know what? I was like really drawn to like the kind of like the bad side a little bit. So I think I liked like Darth Vader and like
you're
the
a little messed up
Stormtroopers and stuff.
6-year-old.
Yeah, I was a little messed up guy.
Yeah.
You know, villain. You know, like
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, very good. That's good hero stuff. I like it. Dad taking him out to see Star Wars on opening day, 1977.
Now that it's over.
All right, we're going to do one more segment after Chainsaw Sports next. And then, Emily, we have to decide what's the greatest dad hero story we've heard.
Okay.
It's great to honor fathers about their heroic work because tomorrow or Friday, we're going to embarrass the hell out of them.
Yes.
With embarrassing dads. Blue balls has already been taken, guys. Tell me something else this morning.
Why can you be blue over me?
And the chainsaw will be next on the KGB.
Why can you be blue over me?
5 KGB.
Listen to this. I got this from Anna. Anna's dad, Bobby, is her hero. So my dad, Bobby, knocked a guy out in Vegas after he hit me upside the head with a beer bottle.
Whoa.
I was like 13 and remember thinking how badass my dad was for doing that without missing a beat.
Nice. Could have gotten a lot uglier, but
Just trying to imagine Anna as a little loudmouth 13.
oh boy.
Getting people in Vegas swinging beer bottles. It all sounds very believable to me. 100%. Dear Dave, my dad was a Korean War Marine. When coming back from a boat trip with our family from Mexico, the boat broke down and my dad had to swim to shore for help. 2 miles offshore, we watched him dive in and then we saw shark fins in the water.
Uh-oh.
He made it to shore and help came later. That's Gary. Diving in 2 miles out.
Whoa.
And he came back for him.
Yeah.
That's the heroic part. Angie.
Yeah.
You know what I want to hear, right?
Huh?
You know what I want to hear.
Yeah, my dad, he is a badass.
All right.
Yeah,
I was
he's
hoping
a
you. I was hoping you.
Vietnam vet.
Yeah, I was hoping you give me call letters and a time check first.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it is 8:43, and you're on the 101.5.
Business before pleasure, right, Angie?
Yes.
Let me hear your story about your hero dad.
Well, my dad's a Vietnam vet, and he told me about when they used to drive the little trucks over they were checking for bombs. So when the military would walk behind them, make sure there was no bombs that they would walk into. So they would put these sacks underneath the truck. So if any bombs would go off, they would feel the bombs underneath them.
Cool. Didn't they have monkeys to walk out there in front of them? Remember Stampy the monkey that would go through the minefield? Some militaries,
no.
oh yeah, some militaries had Stampy the monkey walk out in front of them. I mean, it wasn't good for Stampy the monkey. He was only good for one bomb.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Angie. We'll put you on the list
All
here.
right.
All right, I got a few more for you here, Emily.
Okay.
I was 10 years old. We'd stopped at McDonald's. Been out to the car races. There were 3 guys harassing another guy in line. These were all adults. The 3 guys jumped the one guy, and they were beating on him. My dad jumped in and started thumping on the 3 guys. After a few minutes, they ran out of the lobby and took off. The guy that got jumped was on the floor, so my dad picked him up, sat him on the table to see if he was okay. He lifted the guy's shirt, and blood shot out everywhere. He had been stabbed. My dad laid the guy down, squeezed the wound closed with his hand, told the employees to call an ambulance. My dad held the wound closed with his hands. Kept telling the guy he would be okay. Paramedics showed up, took over. They told my dad they had saved his life. He would have bled out on the table if he had not do what he had done. Dad got our cheeseburgers, handed me mine with his bloody hand, and said, "Let's go." We just got in the car and drove away. Now that is badass. That's Mike. My dad is a retired Marine. While still serving, we had this one kid in the block, a few years older than me, but we knew each other. Since living at Camp Pendleton, my parents moved to Carlsbad, and so did this family. Growing up, this kid went down a different path, karate, steroids, real aggressive, and became an all-around bully. One night, he and his friends got pretty hammered, and they were driving by, and they saw my dad out in the front yard washing his car, and he and his buddies decided to start cussing at my dad and making fun of him because he was wearing his Marine shorts. My dad ordered them to go home, which just incited them to get out of the car. And he approached my father yelling, "F you, Sergeant. You've been trying to boss me around my whole effing life, jarhead." And when he got close enough, my dad just dropped him and knocked out his front teeth. He and his friends jumped in the car and ran home to their mamas, covered in blood. His dad, my dad's best friend, came walking down the street holding 2 beers. Gave one to my dad, just shook my dad's hand and said one of us had to do it. That guy has never tried that again, and I get chills and I laugh internally every time I see his fake teeth when he smiles. Dear Dave, my dad was working at the county fair helping with the animals coming in. A steer was brought in, tied to a truck by 4 ropes from a ring in its nose. Parents got the steer down from the truck and tied a rope for the steer around their 9-year-old child's hand. Well, the steer went crazy and was dragging this kid around, and no one could stop this steer. My dad stood in front of the steer, punched it in the eye so hard, it stopped the steer in its tracks, and I swear he gave it a black eye. I love that. He gave it a black eye. Well, Emily, it's time for you to decide.
All right.
Are you ready? Do you need a review?
I have my favorite.
You've got your favorite
I don't
selected?
know if anyone else needs a
Well,
review.
let's hear it. Let's hear your favorite. Of all the ones we've heard today.
I'm going with Mike, whose dad T-boned bank robbers to thwart their escape and was recognized by President Nixon for his heroics.
He was also rewarded with a brand new ultra reinforced bumper
Yeah, the robber basher or something like that.
and invited patrol around the bank anytime. Bank tricked out his car, gave him an armored car. What do you think, Chris Borg?
Bunch of great ones, but that was one, the first one that I really liked. Mike, the burglar bandit stopper.
All right, very good. There's two for Mike. What do you say, Chainsaw?
What's the name of the guy who wrapped the belt around his fist and beat up the guy at the taco stand?
Danny.
Up at Lawrence Welk Village.
That's right.
Bunch of badasses came in, tried to start a gang fight. Dad went all Navy on them. Belts on their fists.
I love that.
When a guy wraps a belt around his fist, it is time for you to run away. Because he means it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sarah?
I'm in lockstep with Emily and Boyer.
Well, then there
Mike.
we go. We got our winner. Mike wasn't going to have any of that nonsense, was he? No. Busted up a gang fight. That's good stuff.
So there was this kid and this old man flying on this airplane. And they were just kind of, talking about all sorts of stuff. And the kid says, well, what did you do before you retired? And the old man says, well, I used to be a Bengal tiger guide. The guy goes, what? And he goes, oh, yeah, I used to take these rich guys down to India, and we'd hunt Bengal tigers. The kid goes, wow, that must have been exciting. He goes, yeah. He goes, there was one day, he goes, we were out in the thrushes, and I had my gun in my hand. There was a gun on the ground. I heard this noise off to my right. And I looked over, and there was a Bengal tiger like 30 feet away from me growling at me. He goes, and I just crapped my pants.
Ooh.
And the kid goes, wow, I would have too. And the old man says, no. I mean, I just now crapped my pants.
I love that joke.
That's hero story right there.